Good morning, everybody. Ooh, that one's on. I know there's still people in the cafe enjoying yummy goodness out there. They'll make their way in here in just a little bit. But we want to get started to make sure we can get you all to your groups in plenty of time this morning. Just a couple of quick announcements before we get started here. We're just punting. It's fine. Oh, see? Football reference. There you go. Go Lions or something. 49ers will punt. The Lions will just drive their way to the end zone over and over and over again. You're welcome. There you go. That is my love for you all.
Well done. Yeah. Well done.
Next week, branch students will resume, but Chris is going to talk a little bit about an opportunity for students today, actually.
Yeah, today, after we're done here, any students, middle, high school, are welcome to head to Hall Street Bakery. We're going to just kind of down the road about a mile and a half. And it's a chance for students to ask questions about the Bible specifically. I think we'll kind of focus on that specifically, but really anything will go. Because I think it's just, we all have questions. Let's just say that. There's no one in this world who does not have questions about the important things of life. And sometimes we need a space where we can feel safe enough to ask those things. So if you're a student and you need a ride, I can help you. You can ride with me if your parents are okay with that. They can drop you off at Hall Street. The branch is paying for lunch. That's a win. So we'd love to have you join us for that. That's today.
Good. And then I think we have some pictures coming up here next, right, Nick? Yep. Some of you were involved in a work day with AYA Youth Collective. We showed a picture of the group last week, but we have some updated work pictures. These are the projects that you all did. Some painting, some building, really just getting a home ready for young people so that they can have a space to belong, to be welcome, to rest. So thank you all for doing that. We'll keep you updated on more things that we can do with this organization. The cooking group today is going to make some food for them, and we'll deliver that as well this week. So it's a great partner to have for us.
It is, and they have many, many good things to say about you all. They go out of their way to tell us. We get to hear it, and so I want you to hear it too, that they are just very, very grateful for this community. Yep.
Workday.
So next Saturday, thank you. I need a cue. Next Saturday, as in like 6 days, we're not going to be working on another house. We're going to be working on God's house. You know what I mean? I couldn't resist. It was there. I had to take it. So this building, right, we're becoming owners of it. That process, believe it or not, is still inching towards completion, but we are essentially owners of this property, and we want this building to be as hospitable as possible. So on Saturday, we're going to do things that some are very basic things, like clean stains in carpet that have not been touched for maybe a decade, but would just help clean this place up a little bit. We're going to try and reorganize some rooms so that they can be used better. The kitchen would be one example downstairs. That's a really actually decent kitchen for a church this size. We use it, but we could maybe use it more. Our partners could use it more. So we're going to do some work down there. We're going to do very simple stuff like wash windows and try and swap out some light bulbs and even some light switches. This stuff may seem insignificant, but this light switch, for example, is going to be used for these 2 outdoor lights that are on this part of the building, which right now are on a manual switch, which means they're never turned on, which means that it's kind of dark out here at night. And so this may seem simple and even insignificant. I don't think it is, though. We might actually be just a little bit of a better neighbor if we have a well-lit, kind of inviting, more safe space. So we're going to switch out a switch that we'll be able to program and have that turn on at night and then turn off in the morning. All sorts of things are going to be happening here on Saturday. 9 to 3. Come for an hour, come for the whole time. Kids, there will be stuff for kids to do because we're doing some very basic cleaning that we could gladly turn anyone loose on. So we'd love to have you join us.
Kiddos, you can clean toys. It would be super fun.
Ooh, that would be fun.
And
maybe.
windows. You can take the paint off the windows
Yes.
that you put on. It'll be great. One more note. If you received by the way, the building, is this the right one? Nope. I don't have it. You do. The building project list, were you handed that on your way in? Excellent.
Good job, greeter.
Way to go, Alyssa. I didn't even tell you to give it to them. Way to go. That's just got a list of those projects that we'll be doing. So if you're curious about who can come and participate in that, there's also a list on the bottom of things that would be helpful. So if you have a carpet cleaner, if you have a dolly
Right.
that can move a fridge,
Right.
let one of us know so we know we don't have to go rent those things. Okay? And then you'll also see on your announcement sheet, there's a note about the Steward of Care team. Just want to put that in front of you again. If there's ever a need, no matter what it is, there's a survey you can fill out. We'll talk a little bit more next week too about some of the needs that we've addressed. But if you need somebody to support you in anything, that's a really easy way to say, I need some help. So that's there as well if you need that. All right, we're going to turn a little bit here and remember or recap a little bit some of the things we've been talking about over the last few weeks. We've been trying to be reflective and intentional about saying, who do we want to be? How do we go about in this world, both as individuals and as a community? And what things do we need to actively choose, intentionally choose? A few weeks ago, we talked about choosing humility, which is not our go-to, let's admit that. But we talked about how it's key to transformation. It's key to relationships and life-giving relationships. If we could have a willingness to lay down the need to be right, I'll own that one. The need to always put yourself first, or so many of these things that just come naturally to us, right? If we can lay down some of those things and value relationship over anything else, there's a lot of good that can come from that.
Last week we talked about this choice to include, which is also not easy. I think we're really set up in our culture to exclude and to separate ourselves from people who are not like us. The systems of our culture really work actually to help that happen. So we have to choose to include people who are not like us. Why would we do that? In part because it leads to a richer, fuller life. We learn from each other, from those who are different than us. We experience our shared humanity. We learn humility. These two things are definitely connected. We get to practice it when we are with people who are not like us. So we talked about Jesus' example of that and our choice to follow him in that.
So for the next couple of minutes before we head to our groups, we're going to give you a chance to think about those two words and to say, what maybe can I intentionally choose this week to practice humility or inclusion? So we've got a few prompts for you. If humility is striking you as the thing that maybe you need to practice, there's a few prompts for you to think about, to fill in the blanks here, if you will. And there's letters all around the room and Sharpies that you can find a letter and find a Sharpie and write your intention for the week. So for humility, you can simply write, I choose humility. That is enough sometimes, right? Or you can think about something you want to let go of, something you want to lay down. Or I can choose to reach out to someone. Or is there a step you want to take to maybe correct harm done or a broken relationship? What are those things that might require some humility? You're welcome to write those.
And for choosing to include, you could also, again, just simply write, I choose to include. Maybe you want to follow it with a name or a group, someone in your life, someone in the world that comes to mind who's often not included, and you could write that group or that name down as well. These letters, 3 of them here and then some in the back, I think 5, because I think it's a total of 8. We choose. Together, that's what they spell. We choose. That's what these letters collectively spell. And so we're going to, once we have a few weeks of being able to write on them, we're going to put them up as just this visual reminder of these choices that we're making together. So a few minutes here, 2, 3, to move around the room, to find a letter if you'd like, to write something down. We'll then wrap that up and send you out into your groups. We'll say a word about that in a moment. But let's take a step here this morning as a way of reflecting on these two things and as a way of making a choice together. All right, let's do it. All right. So thanks for doing that. We'll have one more shot to do it again next week. Nick, the slide with the rooms, because I need help always. I don't have this memorized. I should, but here's where you're headed for the next 45 or so minutes. In here is a space of just silence. So if you'd like to stay in here, if that would be the gift to you this morning, that's happening in here. Games is in the basement in the big room downstairs right underneath us. Cafe has a discussion group on current events. Cooking group is in the kitchen, of course. If you have infants or toddlers, and then pre-K kids, they're downstairs in those appropriate rooms. It's 20 after, so we're just like 5 minutes behind. So we're going to be back in here, let's say at 11:10. That gives you plenty of time to get to your spot. 11:10, we'll be back in this room for just a quick debrief, and we'll see you then.